we are going live. Hello, everyone. I am working on getting us live for now. Just give me a few seconds to get things organized. So let's see if I am indeed going live at this moment. It should be there, and I am there indeed. Let me hear if I have sound. Very quickly, if I have sound. Going live. All right, I've got sound. And let's check this one too, because I'm also on YouTube. I just want to see if that, because sometimes that goes wrong. But that is interesting. Why isn't that working? Okay, so YouTube somehow is not coming, which is kind of weird. But let me see if I can fix that. It is not working on YouTube. Okay. Let me live streaming. Let me get it over here. Ah, there you are. Okay. Status of the stream. Stream is okay. That is also working. So that looks good. Okay, that looks good. All right. Then we are done here, and then I have all the time to talk to you guys. Give me a few seconds before I can. As always, I'm a little. So that's it. So thank you so much for sticking with me for a bit. I am ready to really talk to you guys. So let's do that. Let's have a chat to see if you guys are online. So I'm going into Facebook now and going into Petra's Music Condo, and hopefully I will see you guys in. I also see that there are some comments in there. I see Renee is in. Welcome, Renee. Good to see you. Yes, I am still firing things up as you can see, but I am ready to start the show, so don't worry about it. It's roughly just the last few things that need to be done, and that's about it now. So I think that I'm ready to start. Also in, I see that my dad is also in, or AKA Echo Tapper. So, which is a kind of interesting thing, is that Echo Tapper is actually also about music, because my dad creates. Well, he was one of the project holders, if I can say it like that, or the owners of a nice open source project where he created uh, guitar echo, a little bit more of the classical ones, but I really, really great, and definitely need to talk to him in a few weeks. Hopefully, I can get him along to talk on the show, but I think that's not going to happen, but we'll see what happens. She should cover home automation. Yes, that I will do that, but not in this show. There's something coming your way, which is gonna be awesome, but that's totally different and not related. Well, it is related to this, but not entirely. So I do see that I have a problem with my lights. I put in some additional lights over here and there. These are the let's say just temporary ones. Some a little bit more. Well, I can show you actually. I'll just show like this is it. So it's a small light, as you can see. But I see that I have some reflection in my glasses. But I just wanted to see what it does if I have that light. So because if I turn it down, you immediately see a difference, which I think that is better to see. Oops, to see it like this, because yeah, that's the way I think that I can is a little bit better to look at. That's what I wanted to say. So in about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, we will be talking about some cool stuff. We will be talking about girl groups, and also some news and some things that I've been doing all this last week. It's been a hectic week on every level, on a personal level, but also on a, company level. I work in a technology company where we decided to have another way of working, and that does additionally have some. You have to think about how things have to go. It's called agile or DevOps or whatever you want to call it. Um, but it is interesting. I like it, but it's also very difficult to make a switch from what I know, the way that we work. So that was something that is different. I wanted to see the Shins in Amsterdam, which was really cool. I actually bought a Apple Watch as well, uh, and yeah, and on Sunday last week we didn't have a show. Why? Because I also needed to do some recordings for a band, which is a Dutch band, which we will also definitely kind of talk about during the show for a bit. Very small snippet about it, but that is something that I'm looking forward to discuss with you. So let's see if you guys have something on your mind. So at this moment, I don't see. Oh, there you go. My mom is also joining in. Welcome. Hope that everything is fine with you. It's a long time ago that I see you. Well, I did see you like a few hours back. I had a very nice curry at my parents today, which was really nice. So, and that was actually partly my mom, partly my dad, and it was really great. I loved it. So for me, it can be more spicy, but that's the way it is. um, Let me see. We got 1 minute 20 to go before we start the show. And before I start the show, we will be talking about girl groups. Please share this video. Tell other people that this show is here. Get them involved. We have roommates here, cool roommates, but we need to have more roommates because it's really cool to see you guys over here, and especially what really makes this show is your comments. That is the driving force behind the show. So let's try to get more in and have some fun, because that is the most important thing. I see Jason is also here. Jason is from Switchboard Live. Actually, I'm using it, Jason, so that's what you see at this moment. Welcome to the show, Petra's Music Condo. We talk about music, we geek about music. In about 20 seconds from now, then we can start the show. And before that, I'm going to drink a snippet. And then we can start the show in 7 seconds. And then let's go back. It is already time. Welcome to Petra's Music Condo. Welcome to the show. It is Sunday and it's 9 p.m. Central European Time, 8 p.m. If you live in the UK, 3 p.m. if you live in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, or on the Pacific Ocean, it's at noon. And it is Monday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning for you guys in Australia. Welcome to the show. In this show, Petra's Music Condo, it is not all about me, like I said in the pre-show. It is actually about you as a community. We together geek about all kinds of different, songs, groups, but also like genres or some other things. So today, for instance, we are going to talk about girl groups. 2 weeks ago, we talked about boy bands, and I thought it was a good thing to have like both of them, right? So boy bands, and now we are going to talk about girl bands. We will also, like we always do, have some talks about what is happening in the world of music, and I had a tremendously great a week full packed of music, a lot of music that I'm gonna talk about. So I am paying attention to your comments. It will sometimes take a few seconds or maybe a few sentences before I look at it, but I will try to incorporate them as much as I can into the show. So I am, let me see who's in. René Chrisman is in. I see Johanna in. Piet Verbruggen is in. Echo Tepper. My dad is in. My mom is in. Jason is in. And Ben is also in. So it is a full packed house. So it is time, the time to rock. Yes, and oops, let me get rid of this one first. Okay, so we are going to talk about girl groups, but before I do that, I had an absolutely stunning, great week if it comes to music. It all started last Sunday, around about this time. We were recording some video for a band. One of them was a Dutch band, which was absolutely great. And actually, I have the CD over here. They are called Enmei. The album is called Genuine. Now, this is not the... Oops, it's not a sharp. Let me put it here. This is not a the cover that is on the final version of the album. So this is actually a collector's item, but anime very very good. If you like, for instance, Within Temptation or so, then this is something definitely for you. They are from the Netherlands, but they will definitely be also on Spotify, and all other stuff as well. Actually, I also saw another band as the supporting band, which is called. Delacuma, indeed. South of Everything, that's what the album is called. They are from, the singer of the band is from Australia. He looks very much like Michael Hutchinson's from, In Excess. Probably you know of them. It was a fun thing. It's not totally my thing, but it was really fun. So check them out. Maybe you liked it. It's a little bit of more of a, rock band than the other one is. But I actually put on a video very quickly from on Facebook a week ago, and I am not going to let you hear the music again because it is not that good. In the sense that where I was at that time was not the best place in the house to have audio, which is very important. But I can actually talk about it a bit. So let's go into that. So let's go in and let's show it to you. So this is the band Enmei playing live. You can see it's really jam-packed with a lot of lights, and I really, really, really like this kind of set. I am really a light person. So especially if it comes to LEDs, etc., I really, really enjoy that. So this was the Enmei. But beside Enmei, I also went last Thursday to Amsterdam to Paradiso, which is a old church. And they rebuilt it like a pop podium or a pop stage. And the Shins were playing there. And they also have a new album out, which I really, really recommend. If you like, you like Mumford & Sons, you like Blind Pilot. This is also a good album, by the way. Let's put it in as well. So if you like them, you will probably also like them. That's the way music goes. And as you can see, I still also have compact discs. I'm a little bit old-fashioned a bit about it because I really, really like covers, etc. So, and I actually also have a video from them as well. So let's delve into it in that video as well. It's a very small, short video, I mean. So as you can see, it's very laid back, and it's just really a nice venue. and I really really love the lights. So that is what I wanted to show you. The fun part of the Shins was is that I actually was um, invited to go to and see the sound check of the band, and that was something that I didn't see before, which I really really like. So let's see. I see that Jordan has also entered the room. As you know, like to call you guys roommates, as in the condo, right? So we are going to talk about today about girl groups, and I really would like to know what if you talk about girl groups, what are the first girl groups that you think of, and what is your favorite girl group song, because I really would like to know. So please put it into the comments, and we'll come back to that as soon as I can. Like I said in the pre-show, please share this video by clicking the share button on the right hand side of this video, and we can definitely look into it later. But before I go into the girl groups, we have something which is also standard. I had to admit this time was a little bit difficult to find something, but I actually found something, and that is about the news. What is hot and happening? So let's talk about the news. Oops. So yes, so today we're going to talk about, for instance, the Cooks. On May 19th, the British group the Cooks will release a best of album, and this is what it looks like. It is called the best of so far. As usually it is the case with these kinds of albums, that they add additional tracks to in order to sell it. One of them is a new single called "Be Who You Are." All the hits are obviously on this album, like for instance, "Naive" and come on, and "She Moves in Her Own Way," and of course, "Oola." The second new track, which is also on the album, is called "Broken Vow," and it sounds like an old Cooks track. So they are going a little bit back to the old way of doing things, which I really like very much. Also, the next up is Blink 182. Blink 182 is also back with a new song called "Misery." The track has been subscribed as an emo classic track on May 19th, like the other one as well. They will release a deluxe version of their last album called "California." The band has um, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, the band has really a writer's high, as they thought to add a bonus disc of like 4 songs or so, but which is typically the case for a bonus disc, right? But that is not the case for these guys, because it's not 4 or 5. No, it is really about 11 new tracks on a deluxe version. So that is what I call very, very, a lot. So those are the news facts for today, and I just asked you a few minutes ago if you know a girl group. Please let me know what you think about it. And since there's no comment at this moment coming in, I'll just continue with the headline of today, which is the girl group. And a girl group is, of course, a music act featuring several female singers who generally harmonize together. That is what a girl group is. All female bands in which members also play instruments are usually considered a separate phenomenon. These groups are sometimes called girl bands to differentiate them, although unlike with boy bands we talked about last week, this terminology is universally followed, so it can be both of them, girl groups or girl bands. It's not as strict as with male bands. With the advance of the music industry and radio broadcasting, a number of girl groups emerged, such as the Andrews Sisters, and in the late 1950s saw the emergence of an all-female singing group as a major force, with 750 distinct girl groups released songs that reached US and UK music charts from 1960 to 1966. A whopping 750 distinct girl groups. Wow. The Supremes, of course, alone held 12 number one singles in the Billboard Hot 100 during the height of the wave. In later era, the girl group template would be applied to, disco, contemporary, R&B, and country-based formats, as well as pop. A more globalized music industry saw the extreme popularity of dance-oriented pop music led by major record labels. The emergence, led by the UK, US, South Korea, and Japan, produced extremely popular acts, with 8 groups debuting after 1990, having sold more than, here it comes, 15 million physical copies of their album. Also, since the late 2000s, South Korea has had a significant impact, with 8 of the top 10 girl groups by digital sales in the world originated there. I have to admit, I didn't really know that, but because of this research, I figured out that girl groups are huge in Asia. So that is something which is interesting. But also in our neck of the world, like Europe and the US. One of the first major all-female groups was the Hampton Sisters, and for these, I hope that I pronounced it correctly, an American trio who successfully toured England and parts of Europe in 1927. Recorded and appeared on BBC Radio, they toured the US variety and big time theaters extensively, and later changed their stage name to 3X Sisters. The ladies were together from 1923 until the early 1940s and known for their close harmony as well as barbershop style as novelty tunes, and organized their 1930s radio success. So there you have it, and let me see if we have some comments. I see that Betty has also entered the room. Welcome. Great to see you also here, Betsy. And we have, again, a full packed house. Before we continue, let me just say something very briefly. You see these names over here. These names are really important for me. These are what I call my roommates. And what they did is that they give a little bit of money, like $5 or $10 a month, and with that they support me in order to make this show possible. Like everything costs a little bit of money, so that's the reason why I really love these guys, that they make it possible to do this. Thank you so much. So I'm talking about Geeks Live, for instance, and I'm waiting for the next one. I know them by heart, by the way. So Jordan, Stefan, Renee, Echo Tapper. So these guys really rock. So they thank you so much for that. Thank you. Arguably, it was the Chantels in 1958 song maybe that became the first true glimmering of the girl group sound. The mixture of black doo-wop, rock and roll, and white pop was appealing to a teenage audience and grew from scandals involving payola and the perceived social effect of rock music. However, early groups such as the Chantels, and sometimes my thing here doesn't seem to work. It's really stupid. Oh, there you go. However, early groups such as the Chantels started developing their group's music capabilities traditionally through mediums like Latin and core music. The success of the Chantels and other... I am going to be annoyed now. No, I'm not annoyed. It's just the way it is. Let me get it a little bit back. It's kind of strange. Let me just show you what it is. So I have this really nice what is it called, a Power Mate, and it works like a charm. But sometimes during the show, it seems to not work, and it's really strange that it doesn't follow anything that I understand. So yeah, that is very yeah, not so fun. So, however, so let's just continue with something else because I was halfway, and so Other songwriters and producers in the US and UK quickly recognized the potential of new approaching and recruiting existing acts, or in some cases created new ones to record their songs in girl group style. Phil Spector recruited the Crystals, the Blossoms, and the Runettes, while Goffin and Pink penned two hit songs for the Cookies. The Cookies, indeed. Phil Spector made a huge impact on the uniquity of the girl groups, as well as bringing fame and notoriety in their heights of many girl groups. Um, which I really like. And what I definitely like about girl groups in general is actually that starting in the 80s and 90s, they actually started with giving each and every girl in the group a special meaning, like a special like role, like Baby Spice, for instance, in Spice Girls, and Victoria was also a bit. I don't know all those spices anymore, but they are such a great way of doing things, and you can relate to at least one of them. So that is something which is really cool. La Belle was the first girl group to show matching outfits and identical choreography instead of wearing extravagant spacesuits and feathered hairdresses. Like I said, but there are so much awesome disco groups like First Choice, Silver Convention, Hot, The Emotions, High Energy, Odyssey, Sister Sledge, definitely one. Mary Jane Girls, Baccarat, Pointer Sisters, of course, Expose and Bananarama. Sometimes it's just so difficult to know all those names. Well, I already said about those roles, which is very important, and once it did that, it really took off, and you will see that across the thing. I am trying to figure out. Yes, so like I said, I have a technical issues, so trying to try to put in some parts in my in my in the stream. So yes, so and as an especially prevalent theme was the adolescence, since most of the girl groups were composed of young singers, often still in high school. Songs mentioned parents, and in many cases, adolescence was also a popular subject because of the emerging audience of girl groups listening to it and buying records. Adolescence was also reinforced by girl groups by cultivating a young image. So that is, like I said, Baby Spice from the Spice Girls, right? And with the rise of new jack swing, contemporary R&B, and hip hop, American girl groups such as En Vogue, Expose, and Sweet Sensation all had singles with hit numbers on one of the charts. Groups of these genres such as SWV, Escape, 207, Black, 3LW, and all other stuff. There is so much that we in Europe not really have listened to. I mean, TLC is definitely one that we have been listening to, but that is, for me, one of the ones that I really like a lot. And that I'm not the only one, because TLC remains the best selling American girl group with 65 million records sold. And their 1994 album, Crazy Sex Cool, remains the best selling album of a girl group in the United States. It has a diamond certification while selling over 23 million copies worldwide. Destiny's Child is also very big, but it sold 16 million records, which is still a lot, obviously. And despite the dying population of girl groups in the US in the mid 2000s, American girl groups and dance ensembles, the Pussycat Dolls, achieved worldwide success with their singles Don't Ya and Bottoms and When I Grow Up. And yeah, they it is still going strong these days, but it is getting a little bit less. But there are still some girl groups coming in, especially via the X Factor, where there are some nice girl groups that are coming this way as well. So that is what the time that I have today. I think we are now 20 minutes. I don't see any comments, so I hope that I'm not missing anything. Let me re start this page for a bit because I don't want to miss out on your comments. Your comments are very important to me. Um, so let me see. No, no comments, no problem. So this is the show for today. Thank you so much for watching. Um, Next week, I was thinking about to talk about music that comes from Britain or the UK. As you know, the Brexit is now starting, and I personally am having mixed feelings about that. I really would like the Brits to stay. However, they decided otherwise, and I have respect for that decision. But I'm going to miss them as part of the European Union, and that's the reason why next week I will be talking about song about uh, you know bands that are coming from Britain or music genres, etc. And Britain is, just to be fully sure, England, Scotland, even though that they want to remain in the European Union, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Those four countries, those are, from my perspective, Great Britain. I hope that you liked it. I know it's a little bit short. Sorry for that. But that doesn't mean that you are more than welcome to give me some feedback, and if you have some ideas for next topics, then please let me know. And I hope that I see you next week. Have a very, very good week. Bye. Oh, that was not fine.